Welcome to episode 23. As you can tell at a minimum from the title, I wasn't planning to release a personal reflection today. I have a structure in my head that I hold myself to. One thing is that I release an episode every 2 weeks. The other is that they are 90% conversations with interesting people, and then every 10th episode, I take some time to think about some of the things I've learned from the people I've spoken with and whatever insights I might be able to come up with around vulnerability and self-expression. And so I don't have an interview ready today. And that's kind of a big deal for me, for that to happen, because I have a standard I hold myself to, and entirely self-imposed, but I do hold myself to that standard. So I'm letting that go. So I have to let that go. I don't have an interview ready. The reason I don't have an interview ready is because I was sick for 3 weeks in bed with COVID. And I know a lot of people are getting sick now, and I'm certainly not alone in that. And there's a couple of things, I have a couple of takeaways from that I wanted to share. One was I was forced to stop. COVID forced me to stop and lie in bed and rest. And I'm very fortunate to have the privilege to be able to do that and not work for a few weeks and allow myself the time and the space to be sick and to recuperate. And I'm also lucky that it's essentially just COVID. I didn't have a life-threatening illness. I don't have a chronic ongoing illness. I knew eventually it would end. It got a little discouraging after week 2, but I did know eventually it would end. I know how fortunate I am. But I was amazed at how difficult it was to stop and rest. And in the beginning, in the first week, I kept telling myself, this is ridiculous. You're not being productive. You're not getting anything done. Enough already. You spent a few days in bed. You've got to get up and get going. And I couldn't. I actually really couldn't. I've never been on vacation for 3 weeks, let alone been sick and unable to be active for 3 weeks. And it made me realize, though, that there's a difference between the times that we choose not to do something, we choose not to push ourselves, we let ourselves off the hook, and we maybe don't go after the things that we should or really do want to, and we take the easy way. I do that too. There's that. But this was something different. I recognized finally that this was something different. I didn't realize how badly I needed to rest. I had no idea, I don't think, how exhausted I was before I got sick. And then once I caught COVID, it really knocked me flat on my back. And I have to accept that. But the more important thing, the more interesting thing is that it made me recognize the importance of refuge. It's something I've been thinking about for a little while. So there's a concept that comes from architecture called prospect refuge. And the idea is that in a physical setting, it could be in a park, it could be in a home, it could even be on a bridge. Human beings are most comfortable when they can take advantage of 2 types of settings. We want to have the opportunity for prospect. We want to be able to see far. We want to be able to see the opportunities. We want to be able to push ourselves and reach and grow and develop. And we also need, in balance to that, we also need an opportunity for refuge. We need a safe place to be. We need a place where we feel comfortable. I've written a bit about prospect and refuge. The principle of prospect refuge reflects a dynamic tension between our needs for vista and for sanctuary. There are times when we desire a broad view out into the world. We want to explore, discover opportunities in what surrounds us, risk what we have for what we may find. At other times, we crave safety and comfort. We want protection from both known and unknown challenges and threats. And importantly, we want to be able to move from one state to the other, from prospect to refuge and back again, depending on how we feel and what we want in the moment. It's elemental. Leave the cave to hunt, gather, and explore, and return for shelter from the elements and predators. So, in a physical sense, if you imagine a house, prospect could be, if in my case I have a terrace on my rooftop. If I go up on the terrace, I can see quite far south, and I can see, especially when the leaves are off the trees. And it's beautiful. It's wonderful to be able to enjoy an expansive view. And it does open you up emotionally and mentally too, when you're in a physical space like that. But on the flip side, if it starts to rain or hail, what I want is to be able to take the opportunity for refuge. I need to be able to go down the stairs into a safe space. But I'm realizing as I speak what an oversimplification that is of this idea of prospect refuge. It makes it sound like it's a space where we hide from danger. And it's not just about hiding away. It's not about avoiding making decisions or chasing after something or coming up with new ideas. It's the counterpoint we need for reflection. It's the space that we need to collect our thoughts and prepare for the next opportunity for prospect. Refuge is about taking space to reflect on what you're going through, what you're feeling, what you're thinking. So these are really some thoughts in progress, and I think it comes across that way in this episode. I'm still working through what prospect means, how it relates to the idea of vulnerability, how it contributes to our ability to express ourselves, with refuge as a space of reflection and preparation and not of hiding. And so if I take a step back, I think that's what COVID has brought to me so far in the way I've been thinking about things. That forced rest that I wasn't able to take for myself as much as I might have needed it was in fact an opportunity for refuge. Because as much as I wasn't able to physically do much, I was actually able to collect my thoughts and my feelings in a way I haven't done in a long time, I would say. And I appreciate that very much. I was even able to start reading in a deeper way than I have in years. I was able to start writing again and think about things that I haven't had the capability of doing for a long time. And I would say, looking back now, I've lacked refuge. I haven't created those spaces for myself to rest, reflect, and prepare to act. So I'll put that out to you. I don't know how that will resonate with people. And I would love to hear what you think about that. Consciously choosing the refuge before the refuge chooses us, as COVID did to me at the beginning of 2022.